As of right now, this is what the standings look like in the National League West. The Rockies are out in front, while the Padres are a game back, we are 2 games back, and the Dodgers are 3.5 back. And we hop into a game here against the Texas Rangers here at Oracle Park. Giants and Rangers. Rangers going to be sending out the right-hander Brent Honeywell. He throws a screwball. He's making his 6th start of the season, while Jay Groom will be making his 5th start of the season for the Giants, the lefty from Barnegat, New Jersey. Take a look at the Giants lineup as well as the opposing Rangers lineup 1-9. Reese McGuire was in at shortstop, but he was immediately taken out for Phillips Evans for whatever reason. So top of the first inning, Akil Baddoo goes down on the big curveball for the first out of the inning. After that, it would be Mendick who flies out to right field, and Ramos catches it on a line. And then for the third out of the inning, it will be Willie Calhoun going down on a running fastball, perfectly placed on the up and in corner. Top of the second now, it is Patrick Wisdom grounding out to second base. Mooney, easy play for him. After that, it brings up Phillip Evans, who swings through the running fastball up and away. And then for the third out, it would be another strikeout on a curveball. Down goes Birch. On to the bottom half of the second inning now, after 2 scoreless innings in the top of the first and top of the second. And in the bottom of the second, Gilberto Fuentes connects on one, sends it out to deep center field, and that baby is gone. Dead center field solo shot for Fuentes as he puts the Giants out on top 1-0. Top of the third here, it's a little fly out to right field. Ramos tries to make the diving play, but he cannot make it. It's a single for Arroyo. After that, it would be Wong who strikes out, but then a sac bunt from Brent Honeywell, so 2 down, runner on second, and Akil Baddoo delivers. He's going to hit this one off the brick in right field. That's an RBI double for Baddoo, and it's now a 1-1 tie ball game. Still 2 down in the inning, obviously. This time it's Mendick who hits a ball up the middle. That gets past Baez into the outfield, drives in Baddoo, and it's a 2-1 Rangers lead. Groom would get out of the inning by striking out Calhoun on the curveball, and it's a 2-1 game where we head on to the bottom of the third. It would not stay like that, though, as Jock Peterson absolutely hits the piss out of this one. Another home run to dead center field, this one even more gone, and it ties the game here at 2, while the Giants were not done in this inning. Still bottom of the third, Javi Baez going left center field into the gap up against the wall. Easy double for the fleet-footed Baez. Next batter up is Joey Gallo, facing his former team, goes to the same part of the ballpark that Baez just did. This one's also going to get up against the wall, and it makes it a 3-2 lead for the Giants. Gallo puts the Giants back on top. Fuentes hits a little dribbler that Honeywell makes the play on. Gallo moves up to third base, a runner on third, 1 out for Elliot Ramos, who pokes a ball through the left side of the infield, drives in Gallo, makes it a 4-2 game, and then the inning would finally come to an end as Joey Bart grounds into a 4-6-3 double play. It's a 4-2 ball game as we move on to the top of the 5th. Christian Arroyo, a very long at-bat, would finally come to an end as he bloops one in to right center field for a base knock. Next batter up would be Connor Wong, who hits a ball into left center field. That's also going to bloop in, so back-to-back bloop singles for the Rangers. First and second, nobody out. Honeywell comes up, lays down a bunt with 2 outs. Gallo goes the second with it, gets that runner, but Honeywell beats it out at first, so runners on the corners, 1 out for Akil Baddoo, who delivers with runners in scoring position yet again. Makes it a 4-3 game, the only a 1-run lead now for the Giants, and then Willie Calhoun would hit a ball to right center field, but Margot uses his speed and tracks that down quite easily. So still a 4-3 game. Bottom of the 5th, Gilberto Fuentes powering a ball out to left center field. This one's not going to get out of here, but it does get over the glove of Baddoo. And Fuentes, the new look Fuentes, does have some fleet feet, so he gets into third with a triple, but then he would not be able to get driven in as Ramos hits a little dribbler. Would be a tough play for Honeywell, but he does make the play. Still a 4-3 game, top of the 6th. Phillip Evans with 1 out. Hits a ball over the head of Jock Peterson and left, who didn't take the greatest route on that one, so Evans does have a double. He's in second base with 1 out. Tanner Scott, the lefty, then comes on for the Giants out of the bullpen. He is facing Birch, strikes him out in the slider for the second out of the inning, and then the next batter up would be Christian Arroyo, the former Giant, who grounds one out to first base, and Scott gets out of the jam, still a 4-3 game. Seth Elledge comes on in the bottom of the 7th for the Rangers, and Manny Margot, something piss test, something I think The Office is funny, something SNL's the peak of comedy, something I unironically call the Super Bowl the superb owl. Margot hits a long home run and puts the Giants on top 5-3. Ryan Presley came on in the 8th inning for San Fran. He works a 1-2-3 inning as he gets Patrick Wisdom to ground out to first base. He knows what's best for him as he just gets it over with, grounds that over to first for the 3rd out, and then the 9th inning, of course, belongs to Reyes Moranza. He also works a 1-2-3 inning, capped off by a strikeout of Christian Arroyo, and that's the ball game. The Giants win this one over the Texas Rangers in some interleague action by a score of 5-3. Gilberto Fuentes gets player of the game honors on the day. He had a dead center solo shot as well as a triple on the day in his 2 hits. Manny Margot had a monster home run as well as Jock Peterson did. Javi Baez was 2 for 4 on the day with a double, while Joey Gallo's only hit was an RBI double to drive in Baez. Jay Groom had a solid day on the mound. He did give up 3 runs through 5 and a third innings, but he did strike out 7 batters through those innings as well, while the screwballer Brett Honeywell did not have the greatest outing for Texas. Before we actually hop into this game against the Mets, let's take a look at the calendar here in late April, as we are at the very end of April in the series against the Mets, where we have won the first 2 already, going for the sweep here in Game 3. The Mets are also going to be playing without Mookie Betts, as he is on the bench with shoulder tightness. It's also worth mentioning that Jock Peterson and Manuel Margot are both sitting at 9 home runs on the season, which is tied with a bunch of people for second place, while Teoscar Hernandez and Manny Machado are tied at the top of the NL with 10 home runs. Also, our right fielder, Elliot Ramos, has the 2nd highest OBP in the National League, as Christian Yelich and Jose Ramirez both have even 500s, and Elliot Ramos has a 480. Giants head out to the borough of Queens to take on the New York Mets in Flushing, New York at Citi Field. On the hill for the Giants is their ace and right-hander Jacob deGrom, toeing the slab for the 6th time this season, and opposing him will be the lefty, also toeing the slab for the 6th time, in Tyler Skaggs. San Francisco Giants lineup on the day 1-2-9, also the New York Mets lineup, take a look at those. Start things off bottom half of the 1st inning, Jeff McNeil flares that over to the third baseman Gallo, catches it on the line. 2nd out of the inning would be Ahmed Rosario flying out to shallow right field. Elliot Ramos puts it away easily, and then the 3rd and final out for the 1-2-3 inning was Jose Ramirez grounding out to Mooney at second base, and it's scoreless after 1. Bottom of the 2nd now, runner on second, 2 outs, a deep fly ball here from Byron Buxton, but it is going to be caught right in front of the track, as we are still scoreless heading to the top of the 3rd, where the 5'6" hit machine Peter Mooney hits a ball over the head of Mitch Haniger in right field for a double, so Mooney's on second base. Skaggs then comes to the plate, lays down a bunt. Mooney moves up to 3rd easily, so runner on 3rd, 1 out for Manny Margot. He is going to check his swing on that ball forward, so he'll toss his bat to the side and take his base. So runners on the corners, 1 out. Jock Peterson, Margot is on the move. Jock pops this one up to deep right center field. Margot has to retreat, but Mooney is able to tag up and score from third base, so it's a 1-0 Giants lead. We move things on to the bottom of the 3rd, where Tyler Skaggs throws a 12-6 curve, and he is hurt throwing the pitch. And fortunately for us, he did not have to go on the IL, as it was only just the rest of the game, but Josh James does have to come in to work a couple innings here, hopefully. So he takes over the at-bat and strikes out Rogers with a slider for the 1st, and after that, deGrom goes down on a slider for the 2nd out, and then the 3rd out of the inning was Jeff McNeil popping one up to left center field. Margot makes the easy catch on that one, and we move things along to the top of the 4th, where Joey Gallo hits a piss missile 114 miles an hour into the shift, though, so no hit for him. Then with 2 outs in the inning, Ramos skips one up the middle, and that's going to be a base knock to keep the inning alive, so he's on first base, brings up Joey Bart, connects on a pitch up in the zone, sends it out to left center field, and this baby is gone. A 2-run shot for Joey Bart makes it a 3-0 lead for the Giants. We move things on in the bottom of the fourth now, where Jose Ramirez crushes one out to left center field. This one's going to get down off the bottom of the wall, and Ramirez has himself an easy two-bagger. Here with 2 outs now, Teoscar Hernandez gets a slider that doesn't slide and sends it out to right center field. This is gone. A 2-run shot for Hernandez. He extends his National League home run lead with 11 on the season. And the next batter up, Pete Alonso, absolutely pulverizes one to right center as well. And this one's out of here. Back-to-back home runs for the Metropolitans. And it's now a 3-3 tie game. James would get out of the inning as he strikes out the next batter in Buxton, but it would be a tie game as we head to the top of the 5th, but it wouldn't stay a tie game as Jock Peterson powers one out to center field, and this one is out of here. Buxton tried to rob it, but he could not haul it back in, so it's a 4-3 lead, Giants back on top. Tanner Scott comes in the bottom of the 5th, trying to work multiple innings. He would get a 1-2-3 inning in the 5th, though, as he gets McNeil to pop up to left field. On to the top of the 6th now, where Gilberto Fuentes hits one out of here as well into right center field. The ball is just flying out of here in Flushing today. Home run after home run. It's now a 5-3 game. A not-so-typical day for Jacob deGrom on the hill as he has to come out of the game and Jacob Webb comes on to replace him. He did not fare well either, though, as Joey Bart came to the plate and absolutely crushes one to left field. A no-doubt shot for Joey Bart. His 2nd home run of the day, 3rd on the season, makes it a 6-3 ball game. 6-4 now as we head on to the bottom of the 6th, where Mitch Haniger hits a ball down the right field line. That's going to be a bloop single for Haniger. After that, Hernandez gets the sinker working on him. Scott makes the leaping grab there to turn 2, a 1-6-3 double play to end the inning. Tanner Scott showing off some defensive prowess. Avalon came on in the 7th, stayed on for a 2nd inning of work in the 8th, where Joey Gallo hits a ball to the right side of the infield and splits the shift. So he's on first base. Then the hit and run is on, but the pitch is so outside, Ramos cannot swing at it. Gallo goes and swipes second nonetheless anyways, so he's in scoring position. Ramos then grounds up the middle, and that's going to be a ground out. It does move up Gallo to third base with 2 outs, where Joey Bart absolutely crushes this one to left field. It is way out of here for his 3rd home run of the game, and the Giants are now on top 8-4. Taking a look at this one in replay, powers it out to left field down the line. There you see it hits off the top of the deck. Paul Sewald then comes on for the Mets to replace Jacob Webb, and after a couple more runners get on, Manny Margot would bloop one into center field. That's going to score Peter Mooney all the way from second base, as it's now a 9-4 game for the Giants in the lead. Top of the 9th, SMB comes on, hits a line drive right back at Sewald, but he somehow is able to field. It is a single for SMB, but let's take a look at this one. Hits him right in the pec, the left pec it looks like, and he somehow is not hurt, but he is not 100% though, obviously, as Elliot Ramos comes up. The next pitch he throws is going to be powered out to left center field. A 2-run shot, and another home run in this game. It's now an 11-4 lead for the Giants, and that would wrap things up here in this ball game, as the Giants do easily win this one over the New York Mets here in Flushing by a score of 11-4. Joey Bart obviously gets player of the game honors. He had 3 home runs on the day, 5 runs driven in. Elliot Ramos had a homer, Jock Peterson had a homer, Gilberto Fuentes had a homer, and then on the Mets side of things, Pete Alonso, Teoscar Hernandez, and Ahmed Rosario all homered, as they had 9 home runs on the day between both teams. Now, with that being said, that is going to wrap things up here for this edition of the San Francisco Giants franchise. I've been your host, Jersey Born, and I am saying, rest in peace, Tyler Skaggs.